All right, let's talk about Mark Kelly, which is another wrinkle to all of this retribution. The Pentagon is investigating, or the Pentagon might recall Mark Kelly and court-martial him. They're thinking about that. The FBI is now trying to interview all of the lawmakers who were in that video, saying you can, or you have an obligation to not follow an illegal order. They specifically said illegal order. The White House has been trying to say that they didn't say illegal, to spin it. What are they doing, Paul?
I think it's the next phase of their full spectrum attack against their political opponents. And one difference with Mark Kelly and all the other people you cited on that graphic is that this is using the Department of Defense. This is breaking glass that's never been broken before. We're crossing the Rubicon into some very deep authoritarian waters here. I mean, he's threatening a retired member of the military. He's threatening to pull him back on active duty, try him under the UCMJ for sedition. He also said he should be executed, right? And I think this should be alarm bells, not just for people in Congress, but for all Americans. There are 2 million military retirees in America. So if he can do this to Mark Kelly, he can do that to them, too. And I think the chilling effect it will have across the Pentagon and across the civilian population, people who are out of the military.
Kenny, though, I mean, what is the basis with which that they can actually get this going? I mean, he was very careful in his language. And all of these lawmakers, including Mark Kelly, who responded exclusively to Rachel Maddow last night, said this is in the handbook. This is in the military handbook. This is a code of conduct in the military handbook. Also, he's a senator, so isn't there a speech and debate issue as well?
I think this is a direct attack on free speech, but it doesn't mean they're not going to do it, right? And I think it will have a chilling effect. I think it will intimidate people. It will, encourage people to be reluctant to speak out, especially if they're not in Washington. They don't have legal defense, and they're worried about also the death threats that come with it, because that's a huge intimidation factor. Every one of those 6 is facing an overwhelming slew of death threats, and that has an impact, too. So he's achieving his goal of squishing free speech, and he's attacking his political enemies, but he's using the Department of Defense. And this might be the first of a new wave to come using that tool.
But as soon as Donald Trump labels it sedition, everyone in MAGA has to act like this is sedition. So what we have seen is time and time again, Trump lashes out, and then it's show me the man, and then I'll find the crime. So he has identified a target, and they're trying to find a way to take legal action.
Well, a lot of it is sparks being lit by our enemies. Right. I mean, our enemies are celebrating the division and the friction and the president fighting with a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Right. I mean, we are at war with ourselves, and our enemies do celebrate that. But I think there's another motive here, too. They want to ruin his reputation. Right. There are large swaths of MAGA now that will believe that this is sedition. They will believe he's a traitor. And that's false. But they are continuing to try to bring people down a notch. And they're picking someone deliberately who is an astronaut, who is well known, who is rumored to be a VP candidate. Kelly's the one they want to go for, because if they prove they can take him down a notch, they can come after anyone.